What is up? We are back again with another Hunter x Hunter tier list. This
Uh,
week we are doing the Yorknew City arc.
mhm. Yeah, we're going to be doing the Yorknew City arc. I think one of the more interesting ones, or the most interesting one to this point at least. And I think it has a lot of things that we could talk about in it. So one thing we should say at the beginning though is we're not going to include any of the Phantom Troop characters because it would just make this video super long. So next week we're going to come back and we're going to do each of the Phantom Troop members, and then we'll talk a little about what they did in this arc because I don't think they've really showed up before here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So first we are going to start off with Karapika's boss.
Yes.
I think Light Nostrad
Mhm.
of the Nostrad family.
Yes.
Yeah, he's around. He's a mob boss, which I don't know. It was kind of cool, I guess. And he did vouch for Karapika and get Karapika in that like assassins meeting. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt pretty lukewarm about him. He was just kind of a guy.
Yeah, he does exploit his daughter a little bit. So now I
Yeah,
something a little bit,
yeah,
But again, like it's anime, shit happens.
yeah,
Yeah, I like you said, he's just kind of there for the most part. I think we just need to include him we have to include characters that are bad. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. We need fodder.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm thinking like C.
That's fine with me.
Okay, next up is Squalla.
Hmm.
Um, I think Squalla's cool. Like cool men ability,
Yeah,
if you even want to call it that, just talking to dogs. But he is also fodder. Like,
I
I
agree.
don't think he does anything, and he gets killed by like I don't know Nobunaga or someone. Uh, yeah. So fodder, but at least above Light and Strahd.
Yeah, I think he's better fodder. I would put him in C, and then I want to put Light in D now, just because I feel like he definitely did more than Light. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but probably not deserving of a B.
No, no, definitely not.
Okay. Um, Next, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so this is the Shadow Beast. We've done Zelda tier list a while back, so any of you who've played Twilight Princess know what this is. This is just a Shadow Beast. So yeah,
Right, this is a stand-in for the Shadow
a Shadow
Beasts
Beast. Yes,
who appear in this arc.
yes,
Um, and honestly, I thought the Shadow Beasts were an amazing way to scale the Phantom Troop.
I agree.
Um, like we get these people that like seem like probably a good amount stronger than like Karapika and company,
Mhm.
and then they just get immediately busted on
Yeah.
by one member of the Phantom Troop.
Hmm.
Um, and I think they had cool powers. Like the moment where it seems like they have Volgan down, it's like dang, they're popping off. Like the guy bites him,
Hmm.
um, the hairy guy's like on his hand.
Yeah,
You can't really punch him.
yeah,
And it's like, dang, okay, huh? So these are like the new, like these will be the people who like are with Kurapika and Killua and Gon like fighting the Phantom Troop,
yeah.
and then no, they
Mhm.
just get boofed
Obliterated.
on
Yeah.
hard. I liked them a lot though because they were fun, and they served like a super good role in the arc. I I feel like people who like sometimes you'll see in comment sections like, oh, the shadow beasts are like so dumb, like they just didn't do anything. But I think that's like the whole point. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, I say maybe around here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think something that this show does really well is it like introduces characters it with the purpose of showing the scale of other characters. So like at the beginning we have Hisoka to look at compared to like Gon and Killua. In the second arc we have like the Zoldyck family compared to like again the Gon and all his friends. And in this one we have not only the Phantom Troop, we can see that they're super strong, but we don't really know how strong. So they introduce the Shadow Beasts, which are like they hype them up as like these crazy strong Nen users that are like sent into like as like a trump card basically. Like they're gonna go in, everything's gonna be good, and then they show up, and then the Phantom Troop just obliterates them. So I think they serve a good purpose of showing the scale of just how strong the Phantom Troop are, like you said. I think B is a good
Yeah,
spot for them.
yeah. Like Gon and Killua aren't just one step away; they're
Yeah,
like at least two steps away
exactly.
from being Phantom Troop level. Um, okay, here's Neon or Neon, maybe.
Whatever you want.
Uh, yeah, she's the daughter of the Nostrad family. She has like the fortune telling abilities.
Yeah.
Um, as a character, I think she was just a random anime girl. Um,
Yeah.
didn't have much personality besides, I guess, being like sort of rich maybe and snotty, uh, like wanting to do what she wants to do. Uh, so I think the only good addition she had to the arc was just the fortune telling things, which I'm honestly wasn't like. I don't think they were one of the bigger parts of the arc. Um, I know they were kind of cool. It was like I don't know. There was some drama and intrigue when like Hisoka had to like hide his or change it around a bit. They were trying to piece things together, but I don't know. This part of the arc didn't really hit me that hard. I would put her maybe in between Shadow Beasts and Squalla.
Yeah, I think I would put her leading the C tier. I think she is only a character because Light is a character because they needed a mob boss to get Karapika into that scene, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
just like a chain of like necessary characters and like she was at the bottom of it. But that being said, I think her Nen type or her Nen ability was cool. She could like it was Nen, right? That she could
Mm-hmm.
like tell the future with. Yeah, so that was cool. I think her design is like unique compared to the other characters, but again, she just looks like a an anime girl.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, nothing else to really say about her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So next up would be Layorio.
Yes,
He's back.
he is back.
Uh, he was totally not present in the Heavens arc or
Mhm.
Heavens Arena arc, but he's back now. He doesn't do too much. He helps them get money. Like he's the one who comes up with the arm wrestling thing for Gon.
Yeah,
Um, but other than that, he's just kind of around. Uh, he's not in any of like the. Oh, okay, no. Actually, I just remembered the one moment that he is in that I think is epic when they're in the hotel and he's pretending to just be this loud mouth
oh,
and
that's right.
he's
Yeah,
trying to give the message to Gon and Kilo. He's like, at 7 o'clock, blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
And they're like, okay, we got it. Um, and yeah, I think that was funny because he knows his place. He knows he's
yeah.
not nearly as powerful as Gon and Killua, but he still is helping in the way that he can. As a Layorio fan, I want to put him, even though he didn't do much, like top of B or maybe higher. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I love Leorio as well. I think just having him in the arc makes it better because there's so many people that love Leorio, and just seeing him and like him being himself in the arc is enough to make me happy. So yeah, I think B tier is good for him.
Cool. Um, Next up would be Melody.
Yes.
She is also on Karapika's like mafia team, which side note, it's really like their mafia team is just weird. Like
Mhm.
it's a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
Like it's totally the anime syndrome of like every character, every like main character has like a unique design, but it's not like super indicative of like reality. Like I think in reality some people just look copy paste, but
Mhm.
like Kurapika's team is like Melody and him and like this like biker guy.
Yeah, with the mutton chops, is that what they're called?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But on Melody specifically, I understand if you like her, and I don't dislike her.
Yeah.
You know, she kind of was trying to make Karapika chill in this arc. There were a few times where he was just raging hard, and she was trying to make him chill. And I guess yeah, I'd say I liked her. I think she probably deserves to be like above Leorio or higher. I think she deserves it, but I don't
I
I
think
don't
she
know if I
deserves
feel
it,
like
but I don't
doing
want to
it.
put her above Leorio.
Yeah,
I would be happy in between the B tier. I think when they introduced Melody, I thought she'd be like a more complex character, and like I thought she'd have a lot more. I thought we'd get to know her a lot more because they talk about like her history and how she like transformed into like this
a
creature.
rat.
a rat basically, because she used to be like just like a normal girl, I guess, with like music, and I think she got cursed or something was what happened. And so I thought we'd like get into that a little bit, and like her and Karapika would. I honestly thought that her and Karapika would end up being like love interest, you know,
Me too.
but
Yeah.
yeah, none of that really played out. And for that, I think my disappointment kind of overwhelms how much I think about her, you know? So I think she's just kind of there as well, maybe more significant than the previous ones, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
She gives my man Layorio a nice send off. Um,
What should do?
when they're in like the airport, I guess,
Hmm.
and she's like, I've listened to a lot of people's hearts in this city, and
That's right.
you have like the calmest or gentlest or
I think
something.
it was like, yeah, like gentle, something along those lines, like the
Yeah,
kindest or something.
yeah,
Yeah. Which is funny considering like what we know about Layorio.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
kind of a
going back to
bully.
Layorio, actually, I think what's cool about
Yeah,
him is like he has like this big, like loud, like annoying kind of outer shell, but on the inside, like he really does care about people. And like
yeah.
he even touches on that when he talks about wanting to be like a doctor. You
Hmm.
know, I think yeah, he fronts, but he's a
Yeah,
sweet.
he fronts, but he's got it. He's got
Yeah,
it. Okay. Next was one of the cooler appearances in this arc,
yeah,
even though they were kind of really only there for one fight. Um, yeah, the Zoldycks appear.
yes.
I guess we'll
Just
start with Silva Zoldyck. I reckon they'll probably be pretty close though. Um, yeah, so the mafia hires a bunch of people to kill the Phantom Troop, and one of these people is the Zoldyck family.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I think that they are very cool in that they also provide some scaling to the Phantom Troop because it's
Yeah,
hard to keep in your head, right? That maybe uh the Zoldyck family's here and like Hisoka's here and like you know everyone else is like somewhere. Maybe the Phantom Troop is here and the Shadow Beasts were here. Like
mhm.
uh they provided like an anchor, to go back to and be like, okay, so the heads of the Zoldyck family kind of scale to like the head of the Phantom Troop.
Yeah,
It seemed like at least Zeno uh and Crollo were like comparable. Uh,
mhm.
at least one wasn't vastly more powerful than the other. Uh, and yeah, it's really good because power is like such a big deal in this show. And it was like a very good way to scale that. So yeah, I felt good about the Zoldyck's appearances in this arc.
Yeah. I loved it as well. Like you said, power scaling again. I think it's really important in anime like this that we get to see like basically a ranking of the characters and where they stand. I think the fact that they showed us the Zoldyck family before this arc, we kind of understood like, okay, these guys are really strong, and I know the Phantom Troop's really strong. So let's see like how they are compared to each other. And I'm not sure if it was him or Zeno in that fight with Crollo, but they have a cool scene where like I don't know if they touched on it before or at that point, but they talk about how I think it was Killua. He talks about how his dad Silva and Grandpa Zeno always like have a really easy time with like these assassination jobs. They get them all done like no problem. But there's
Mhm.
like a phrase that they use or something when they like basically acknowledge the strength of their opponent. And I forget what it was.
I think it was like not worth the money or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, something like
Um,
that. Yeah, and I think that they used that against Crow, which I thought was really cool to show like okay, like this guy is strong. You know what I mean?
Also, uh, there's this one cool part in the fight with Crollo where Crollo, he pulls out that knife, like
Mhm.
poisoned knife, and he strikes Silva's arm. Uh, and then Silva takes one of his hairs and then ties up his arm like that, so as to stop the poison from spreading. And I don't know, that's some A-level assassin stuff right there.
Definitely, yeah, they're so cool.
Uh, do you agree with somewhere around here?
Completely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Xeno
Uh,
goes around the same spot as well.
Yeah, I think that he gets a little bit more of a highlight in this arc just because he talks to Crollo a bit.
Yeah,
Um, and I feel like he's the main one in the fight against Crollo. It was also very cool how he was like, just kill me. Like, I'm going to pin him down, like, literally just kill us both
yeah,
to
definitely.
Silva. And yeah, I think the fun part at the end of that fight is when they get the call from Illumi, and Illumi's like, "I literally just killed your clients, so you don't need to do this anymore."
Yeah, and they just
Um,
stopped the fight.
yeah, and, and yeah, Zeno has that cool line, or I think Chrollo's like, "Oh, like you're done," and Zeno's like, "What? You think I do this for fun? This is a job."
Yeah,
Uh, and I don't know, like they're still assassins, but I don't know. It was cool to get perspective into how they think about these things.
yeah, and how seriously they take it as well. Like he was willing to let Silva kill him to get the
Yeah,
fight done, you know what I mean?
and then moments later, he was like, "Okay, I don't even want to fight anymore."
Yeah, he's
So
like, okay, I'm over this. Like
yeah,
the quick change is crazy.
yeah. Okay, cool. Now we have sort of the main trio here. Um, Gon. He doesn't do too much. I mean, him and Kilo do about the same, and
Yeah,
they get captured by the Phantom Troop. Um, yeah, I think that Gon he shows like some of the like good morals in this one because throughout the show we get like a survey of Gon's weird morals. But in this arc at least, he's his big thing is like, why do you kill people? Like you shouldn't kill people,
mhm.
which it's reasonable. That's what you should probably say. Um, but yeah, I think that mostly what he does in this arc just sets him up for later arcs uh, when his morals get a little bit bent, and it's like, okay, well, how do we reconcile what you said earlier and what you're doing now? So, uh, yeah, I think anywhere higher than Layorio.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I really struggle to think of like any major cool parts that Gon took part in, or even really like too much character growth. I think he was just kind of there. I don't think he deserves an S, definitely. And honestly, I think that he would be below the Zoldyx here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Um, Killua, he's I feel like about the same. All I
Mhm.
can think of is I really like that scene where they're stalking Finks and Machi, is it? Or no, it's Nobunaga and Machi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, Finks like corners Killua like in that building,
Mhm.
and Killua just starts jumping around super quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, that's just a fun scene because yeah, then Fink just grabs him. It's like, dang, these guys are powerful.
Yeah.
Um, for that, I kind of want to put him right here, but
Yeah. I think he'll put him with his family.
yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then Karapika. I think, you know, Karapika is the star of this arc for a
Definitely.
very good reason.
Yeah.
Um, you can speak more, but I just want to note how cold it is that he brought a shovel to his fight with Uvolgan.
That is
He
sick. I
was
didn't
he
remember
was
that.
that confident
Yeah.
that he was gonna bring a shovel to bury his dead freaking body.
Dude, that's actually so funny. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, some people claim that he conjured it, but and it's not confirmed if he actually brought it or not. But he talks in this arc about how he had to like touch chains for like weeks on end to even like create one. So there's no way he just conjured it, right? Like
Yeah, that's true.
he totally,
Even if it is true that he conjured it, I like to think more that he just brought it.
yeah,
Like that's a better reality to me.
yeah, yeah. And I don't think it fits within the established rules of Ned that he conjured it.
Yeah, unless he
Yeah, what are
trained
your thoughts?
just to flex on.
Yeah, he knew he was gonna have to bury a lot of people
Yeah.
this arc. What's your thoughts on Karapika in this arc?
I think this is his highest point across the entire show. I think Karapika did I think this is his arc, to be honest. I think this
Mm-hmm.
whole arc serves to just show how great him and also the Phantom Troop are. You get to see, well, we get to go more into like his struggle and his background because we know that his whole family was killed by the Phantom Troop, or his whole clan was killed by the
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Troop. And so throughout the whole show, he holds like a lot of resentment towards them. And we finally get to see him come back for like retribution. He's been training for all these years. He even made a deal, like a NEN, I forget what it's called, but basically, if he breaks like this set guideline, then he's killed. And if he does this in exchange for like an increase in his NEN powers and abilities, just because he's that serious about killing the Phantom Troop. And if I remember correctly, his rule is I will only like use this against the Phantom Troop. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And yeah, that again just shows how seriously he takes this. That he's willing to risk his life and only use that power that he's given to defeat the Phantom Troop. I think this was a great arc for him. I'll let you touch more on it though.
Yeah, I think he does an amazing job at like introducing this sacrifice rule that's needed for Nen.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, in the Heaven's Arena arc, we sort of got like an intro to Nen in that like you can hear the different little things. Like you can use Go, or maybe it was something else like see other
Hmm.
Nen, all this type of stuff. Sort of like the basics of Nen, but it really just touches into their Hatsus in this one. Um, and like how you can just sort of create your own ability, but you have to like put limitations on yourself. Um, and and we know going in that Karapika can't be like that much more powerful than Gon and Killua. Like he's probably not much. He probably isn't more powerful than Gon and Killua, like
Yeah.
baseline. But this just shows that like if you make an ultimate sacrifice like that with your Nen, then uh he just totally dunks on the Phantom Troop. Like he even dunks on Crollo, who
Yeah.
like was established to be uh like Zena level or higher.
Yeah.
So uh yeah, super good just introduction to Nen. And also one more thing about his Nen Emperor Time, like his ability whenever he's using it.
Yeah.
Um I think it's like every minute that he's using it, like an hour of his lifespan goes down.
Oh,
Uh so yeah, just the ultimate sacrifice to
yes,
hunt these
definitely.
guys down. And a final thing, as a Naruto guy, is this guy basically Sasuke? That's what I hear a lot.
The backgrounds are pretty similar in that. Well, no, this isn't a spoiler. You know this in episode one. His whole Sasuke's whole clan was killed very early on, and like when he was young, basically. And so he like grew up without his clan. He was like an e-boy kind of. So they have similar like character traits and backgrounds, but in terms of like fighting style, design, all that stuff, they're pretty different.
Okay.
Yeah, and even where the character goes, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
I prefer Sasuke though. Excuse me.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. Does this look legit?
I think this looks good. Yeah, I think
Cool.
Karapika deserves that tier to himself.
Yeah. Totally. He's outstanding.
Yeah.
Um, didn't never hit on Melody though. Sadly, even though Melody was dropping some lines, I think.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's more though just to like speak to like how seriously he's been taking this. Like he finally has this chance
yeah.
to and then I don't think he's gonna do it like mess that up for pussy.
Yeah. One final thing to say about Karapika in this arc, one other moment where he just balls out is when the Phantom Troop has Gon and Killua like captive in that hotel.
Mhm.
Uh, and they call him and they're like, he says, don't hurt them or like, I will kill Crollo.
Yeah,
And then Finks, I think, says like, oh, sorry, we already broke their arms, like as a lie, just so that they can break their arms, I guess, if they
yeah,
want. And then Kravka's like, all right, deal's off, bye, and hangs up. Uh, but yeah, Kravka balled out.
yeah. Karapika is like a major baller. I think he's the biggest in the show.
Yeah, he has no time for the shenanigans that everybody else in the show seems to be always getting into.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, like that final arc when they're calling him and
Exactly.
he's just
He's just in
chilling,
a chair, just like
literally phone in hand, buzzing, but
yeah,
not a care in the world to see what foolishness they're up to.
yeah, yeah. He's great.
All right, well, cool. I think this was a
Yeah.
reasonable list.
Next week we'll be back with the Phantom Troop. We'll talk about what they did here again. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in a few days.